Hey guys, this is Hardy from Digital Painting Studio, and from all of us in New Orleans, happy Mardi Gras. Today, let's finish our 5-week monster challenge, and I've got a really cool, creepy one to end on. I thought I would limit this monster to just a head design so that we could really zoom in and focus on creating something with a personality. But if you are participating in the challenge, the rules are wide open, so don't feel like you have to limit yourself to just a monster head. Today, let's talk a little bit about the actual techniques that I'm using for design and painting. You might have noticed I follow it's like the same workflow for all creature designs, and it works really well. A really important part of working as a professional concept artist is having a workflow that you know you can count on, that you can reliably look at a blank canvas and create something that will be valuable, that will be useful to your client. So I thought we could dig into that workflow a bit. But later in the video, there is a really important tip that I want to share. This applies to monster designs, but really just about any design or painting that you will ever do. I guarantee this will make a difference. This will help. But first, let's talk about this workflow, and it starts with shape design. I've been starting each one of these monsters with a silhouette, and I love working this way, which is kind of weird because I really enjoy sketching with line art. But for certain subjects, especially monsters, working directly with silhouettes and shapes just seems to work better. And here's one of these central lessons that we work on in Concept Art Academy. Shape is pretty much everything. It is the core visual design element that has the most impact on how your design will work. So it really makes sense to start with simple shapes and build from there. Instead of defining the perimeter of a shape with a bunch of sketchy lines, let's just block in the entire shape at once. Let's see the entire shape instantly. I like to think of it as a lump of clay that you can carve away from or add to or pull and stretch. You can mold it into whatever you want. It's really freeing to work in this way, and it seems to just be the shortest path to getting to a successful initial shape design. So to all die-hard line art sketching fans, I hope you'll give this a try. Now let's talk about painting workflow. And again, this is pretty much a similar process that I use for every monster painting, kind of every character painting. This just seems to work well for a lot of subjects. For organic subjects like people or monsters, I like to compartmentalize the rendering. I like to think about values first: light and dark, form, texture, direction, all of those important things that value can do for a painting. I like to handle that in its own step, and that's me painting with this orange color just to define values. And as we've talked about before, value edges are hugely important for creating a realistic, organic looking form. So make sure to always balance out those soft gradients, those soft fades from light to dark, with some very hard, abrupt cuts from light to dark. Combining these two edge types is what will give your creature or your character that organic quality. It will make it look like there's real anatomy going on beneath the surface of the skin. After our value steps are finished, I like to convert to color by doing a sort of underpainting. I paint in some reds underneath the value layer to give the impression of hue variation. Skin, even weird alien monster skin, needs to have lots of subtly different colors going on in order to feel like it's authentic and alive. And hue variation is the key to this. Some areas need to be a bit more red than others. Here's a fun, creepy detail. Let's make this guy's head seem sort of semi-transparent, like there's some light glowing through parts of the head. We'll be able to see little subtle hints of anatomy, like his brain is in there or something. Just adds a lot of fun, creepy, extra interest. Okay, it's time for me to deliver on the bold promise of the video title. And here's the main idea. Up to this point, I like this painting, but I don't quite love it. This is a place I find myself in quite a bit. I feel a bit stuck, like my painting has promise, but maybe I haven't quite executed it correctly. You ever feel that way? It's kind of a bummer. It's like I could call this done and move on to something else, but it's just not quite satisfying. When this feeling sets in, I always think of this awesome quote from a teacher I had in college. I always love this. The greatest enemy of a great painting is a good painting. Don't be satisfied with something that is just okay. Don't let the good painting get in the way of the great painting that could be just a few more steps away. Okay, great, nice quote, but what do I do with that? Here's the trick. Put down your stylus and walk away from your project and don't come back for one whole day. If something feels just okay and almost finished, but you feel stuck, walk away. When you come back with fresh eyes, suddenly all of these new possibilities become obvious. For this painting, I ended up stretching the head. I actually changed the entire shape design, and it feels way more dynamic. And I also decided to add some creepy, realistic teeth. The teeth end up being the main feature element, that memorable thing that I think most viewers will pay attention to, which is crazy because it was this 11th hour decision to add them in at all. So set your project aside. Come back to it with fresh eyes. Give it one more good pass. The results are always better if you can do this. So don't be satisfied with good. Take a break. Come back and lift that project up to greatness. And here's my finished painting. I like this so much better with the final pass changes that I've made. It's gone from being something that I found acceptable to something that I'm pretty proud of. So I hope that quote lingers in your mind. That's it for the 5-week Monster Challenge. Huge thanks and congratulations for all artists who have participated. Your entries have been truly inspiring, and I'll be picking winners next week. We'll be on a break for a few weeks, but we have some awesome live events scheduled for mid-March, so be sure to subscribe so that you won't miss a thing. In the meantime, good luck with your artwork. Paint something cool today.